Good afternoon, Facebook. Michelle Kramer here, coming to you live, your Live Abundantly life and health coach. Sure hope you had a great weekend. Mine was awesome and exhausting. The nonprofit that I am the founder and president for, we had our annual carnival on Saturday. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but it was lots of fun. And it turned out great. But I want to continue the series that we started last week on It's Time to Feel Better. And so far, I've kind of just done a little introduction, told you some things that we're seeing, an increase in ailments, especially in our nation, and some contributing factors there. Also talked about last week skin irritations. So today I'm actually going to talk about inflammation. And I'm curious where you think inflammation in your body originates. So if you've got a thought there, hey Brett, what's up? If you have a thought there, go ahead and leave a comment where you think inflammation might originate in the body, and we'll kind of get to that. What I want to bring to your attention are a couple of things that I've done some research, of course, so I'm going to be referring to my notes a lot. Inflammation itself is the body's natural defense against damaged cells, viruses, and bacteria. So it's natural, it's actually good. And you've got like acute inflammation, which is something that comes on quickly and goes quickly because your body is fighting something off. So if you're dealing with a virus of some kind, you might feel like your joints are a little swollen or things like that. That's usually why we get that achy feeling when we're dealing with a virus, because our body is like that inflammation is acting and it's fighting off the virus, and it's a good thing. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It becomes a bad thing when it becomes chronic, and it's something that you're dealing with on a regular basis. So Women's Health mentions that inflammation in the body can be connected to a lot of other conditions, such as extreme sadness. We'll just put it that way. It can be connected to things like difficulty with your glucose metabolism. It can be connected to things like, how do I put this? Because I have to be very careful because of the FDA about saying things that are diagnosable. So extreme sadness, glucose metabolism issues, and it can even be connected to those things that your body does when, the seasons change and there's lots of pollen in the air. All of that can actually be connected to inflammation in the body, especially chronic inflammation. It can lead to other things because it's compromising our immune system. So I read an abstract in the National Library of Medicine today, and I want to kind of to quote it for you. What they were doing is looking at inflammation in the body, and they were actually looking at the use of probiotics as something to treat that. And I did want to point out that it does say in the conclusion for this abstract, and I'd be happy to get you the link if you want, just message me. It does say in the conclusion of this abstract that it's obvious that more clinical trials are needed. Things like probiotics and health in that respect are still kind of relatively new as far as clinical trials go. But it does say, and I quote, "On the other hand, it is also obvious that the resident microbiota from mouth to rectum is an important factor for homeostasis and for the physiological course of events, and that probiotics are a promising means of intervention." So in layman's terms, their research thus far has shown that our body's processes from what we ingest to what we produce as waste has an effect on the inflammation in our body, and that probiotics are a promising means of helping to correct that. So I asked earlier what you might think is the cause or the root of inflammation. And between this and a few things that I'm going to show you, I think you're going to probably be on the same page with me. So I did a lot of research on what causes inflammation, what contributes to inflammation, and it is predominantly our diet. The Arthritis Foundation lists a slew of things that can contribute to, there goes my dog. Hey, could you go tell her no, please? The joys of live video. She's freaking out because she hears me talking. So the Arthritis Foundation lists a number of foods that can contribute to inflammation. And we're not going to like it. Sugar, saturated fat, trans fat, excess omega-6, refined carbohydrates, which is white flour, rice, and white potatoes, MSG, gluten and casein. So gluten, of course, is in wheat. Casein is in whey protein. Aspartame, alcohol, pasteurized dairy products, and corn and soybean oil. Okay, so even like the Arthritis Foundation is quoting that aspartame, the sweetener substitute, is connected to inflammation. So diet soda is a bad idea if you're dealing with inflammation. So in order to combat that, you have to cut back on those things. So I would conclude, and give me a thumbs up if you agree, or a comment with I agree with you, I would conclude that inflammation is directly connected based upon this National Library of Medicine article, and these factors that contribute as far as our diet is directly connected to our gut health. Because what we ingest obviously sets in our body, and our body pulls from those things that we ingest. And if those things that are a regular part of our diet, I mean, sugar is in everything, refined carbs are in everything, gluten and casein, pasteurized dairy products are in everything, like corn and soybean oil. I have a friend who has a severe soy allergy, and soybean oil is in gobs of stuff. She can almost not eat out at all because everybody uses soybean oil, even just to put like their to cook a chicken breast. So it's everywhere. And so that would kind of explain why we're continually dealing with more inflammation within our society because of our diet and how it's connected to our gut health. And probiotics, as I said, are a great way to help combat that. But of course, you need to cut back on those things. And you need to increase your fruits and vegetables. You need to make fish your main protein so that you're getting more omega-3s. Also, foods that are rich in antioxidants are a great way to combat inflammation. That includes like acacia fruit, allium veggies, which is like chives, garlic, leeks, onions, those kind of things, beans and lentils, green food, so spinach, kale, all those kind of things as well, beans, like green beans and peas, hot peppers, nuts and seeds, and sprouts are all things that can help you, that are anti-inflammatory. Those are going to help you to decrease that inflammation, and of course cutting down on the things that increase it. Drink lots of water so that your body is processing the things that you ingest and flushing out the bad stuff. Of course, get a probiotic. And we've talked about, I've done a lot of research on what strains you need to be looking for in a probiotic and what else you need to. I have a video on that. It was the cat, yeah, because you're playing with her. Sorry. Doing videos with my kids around. It's great. So I have a video on what to look for in a probiotic wherever you may buy it. So let me know if you want that. Send me a message and I'll send you a link to that video. And just remember that the majority of inflammatory conditions start in the gut because it has everything to do with what we're eating. So, and what toxins we're exposed to. So be very mindful of that if you're dealing with inflammation. And inflammation, we're talking like things you feel in the joints, but also like bloating and digestive issues are inflammation in the gut. So it's all relative. So anyway, that's my long-winded talk on inflammation today. So we're going to have another video on Wednesday and one on Friday. Still continuing this It's Time to Feel Better. Time to Feel Better series. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. Just send me a quick message. Be sure to share this video if you felt that it was of value and you know somebody that maybe could benefit from it. And everyone have an awesome day.